Above, the Pacific stretches endlessly, a vast mirror of sky and cloud. Waves ripple with timeless rhythm, gentle yet inexorable, masking the descent that waits beneath. Beneath this tranquil surface lies a world removed from human perception. Here, sunlight dwindles and bends, scattering into the endless blue. The warmth of day disappears gradually, until the cold embraces all that remains. At 20 meters, the first hints of the deep appear. Shadows grow, colors fade, and the water thickens. By 200 meters, the world above becomes a distant memory. By 1,000, the ocean has swallowed all light. Only darkness remains. Pressure begins to rise subtly, unnoticed at first, then relentless, pressing upon everything. The ocean is no longer water, it is a living force, dense and patient, indifferent to our presence. Even here life persists. Tiny amphipods drift in the shadows, translucent and fragile. Their slow, deliberate motion seems like the rhythm of the sea itself. Jellyfish glow faintly, pulsating like delicate hearts in the void. This is the beginning of the descent. A journey into the unknown, where every meter draws us further from the familiar, and deeper into the eternal silence of the abyss. Chapter 2, The Fall into Blue. As we descend further, sunlight gives way entirely. The last fragments of warmth dissolve into the cold, and the ocean transforms into a realm of blue and shadow. Particles drift lazily in the water, illuminated only by the submersible's faint glow. Each fleck of organic matter becomes a star in this liquid night. Here begins the twilight zone, between the known and the unknown, where life adapts in ways unimaginable. The Mariana snailfish, nearly transparent, glides slowly in the cold. Xenophyophores stretch across the abyssal plains, giant single-celled organisms that dominate the sediment like living carpets. Life here is not loud, nor does it compete for attention. It exists quietly, persistently, a testament to adaptation and resilience. Every glow, every subtle movement, is a language written in darkness. Even the explorers who first descended felt the weight of this silence. Jacques Picard and Don Walsh in Trieste descended into a world no human had witnessed before. Their journey was measured in minutes, but the experience stretched into eternity. As we continue to fall, time becomes fluid. Minutes stretch, boundaries fade, and the ocean becomes a mirror of infinite patience. 20 minutes, Chapter 3, The Edge of Light. At the edge of light, the ocean becomes alien. Shapes distort. Shadows lengthen. The water pressure grows immense. And even the simplest form of life seems miraculous. Hydrothermal vents, like miniature volcanoes, release clouds of heated water. Around them, life flourishes in vivid contrast to the surrounding darkness. Amphipods graze, snailfish hunt, and strange gelatinous organisms drift silently, unaware of the humans above. Each creature is a study in adaptation. Soft, flexible, translucent bodies designed to withstand pressures unimaginable. Xenophyophores, fragile giants, dominate the abyssal plains. Holothurians crawl slowly, processing the sediment, maintaining the balance of this hidden ecosystem. The trench walls rise like inverted mountains, carved over millions of years. The floor of the abyss is distant yet inevitable, a reminder of the scale of our planet and the patience of its forces. Even at this edge of light, life persists in fragile beauty, and the ocean continues to whisper its eternal story in the only language it knows, silence. Chapter 4, The Slow Descent. As we continue our descent, the familiar world fades completely. The sun has vanished hours ago, leaving only a dim memory of light. The water has thickened into a liquid shadow, and every movement feels as though we are traveling through eternity itself. Here every meter stretches time. Seconds dilate, minutes become expansive, and the submersible hums a solitary note in the unbroken darkness. Particles drift like cosmic dust, suspended in the black void. Life appears in unexpected forms. Tiny amphipods, their bodies translucent, drift lazily. Jellyfish pulse gently, sending fragile light into the black water. These small motions are the only evidence that life persists in this extreme environment. Hydrothermal vents begin to appear in the distance, like miniature suns in an oceanic night. Their heated plumes rise in slow spirals, carrying chemical whispers that sustain hidden communities of life. Every creature here is a study in adaptation. The Mariana snailfish, nearly invisible to the eye, drifts effortlessly. Xenophyophores cover the seabed like delicate tapestries, while holothurians crawl silently, filtering sediment and sustaining the ecosystem. Time is irrelevant. The descent continues in silence, and the ocean seems aware of our intrusion. Even the submersible feels small, fragile against the crushing weight of water. Here the mind begins to wander, to consider not only the life that thrives, but the unimaginable forces that have shaped this world over millions of years. Chapter 5: Pressure Beyond Imagination. Pressure here is a constant companion. Every inch of the submersible and every part of the human body feels it, like 1,000 invisible hands pressing from all sides. At the bottom of the Mariana Trench, pressure exceeds 1,000 times that of the surface. Yet life persists. Amphipods gather in swarms, grazing on detritus that drifts down from above. Snailfish navigate the darkness with grace, their delicate bodies adapted perfectly to withstand what would crush anything else. Xenophyophores, giant single-celled organisms, dominate the seabed, stretching across hundreds of meters. Holothurians crawl slowly, processing sediment and nutrients, maintaining the delicate balance of this hidden ecosystem. Explorers who first descended here felt the weight not only physically, but psychologically. Jacques Picard and Don Walsh recorded the first human experience of this silent world. Their journey was brief, yet it stretched into the mind's imagination indefinitely. Even the smallest flicker of bioluminescence is a statement. Life can endure the impossible. And in that endurance, we catch a glimpse of nature's quiet majesty. Chapter 6: Ghosts of the Deep. Deeper still, we encounter life forms that seem more ghost than creature. Translucent, ethereal, drifting silently, they are the ghosts of the deep. Amphipods move like shadows. Snailfish float with an almost spectral grace, and gelatinous beings sway slowly, illuminated only by the faint glow of bioluminescence. These creatures exist in a world without sunlight, without warmth, and yet they have evolved to thrive. Their bodies perfect instruments of survival. Explorers describe a strange sensation, a feeling of intrusion, yet of awe, as if entering a realm that is not meant for human comprehension. Victor Vescovo, during his descent, described seeing entire landscapes of life that seemed alien, fields of xenophyophores stretching endlessly, clusters of amphipods moving as if choreographed, and snailfish hovering like specters above the sediment. In this deep, pressure, darkness, and silence converge. The trench becomes not only a physical space, but a meditation on endurance, on fragility, and on the profound mystery of life itself. Chapter 7: The Creatures of Midnight. Welcome to the Midnight Zone. Here, at the edge of human understanding, life thrives in forms unimaginable. Amphipods swarm in intricate patterns, feeding on the faint debris that drifts down from the upper layers. Snailfish, delicate and almost invisible, hunt with precision, their translucent bodies allowing them to blend perfectly with the surrounding water. Xenophyophores stretch across the abyssal plains like living mosaics. Holothurians crawl slowly, filtering sediment, ensuring that nutrients circulate in this hidden ecosystem. Predators are rare, but they exist. Some gelatinous hunters drift silently, their movements slow but deliberate, each tentacle a delicate instrument of survival. Every flicker of bioluminescence tells a story, a silent signal in the eternal dark. It is a language we can only imagine, but one that fills the midnight with life and motion. Even the human mind struggles to comprehend the scale, the patience, the quiet complexity that unfolds in this eternal night. Chapter 8: Ancient Echoes. Submarine volcanoes. Beneath the crushing weight of water, the earth breathes. Ancient forces stir in silence, shaping the landscape with patience beyond comprehension. Submarine volcanoes rise like sleeping giants, their peaks hidden beneath the black waters. They erupt slowly over millennia, each plume a whispered reminder that our planet is alive, and that the deep holds memory older than any human history. Here, life congregates around these oases of heat and chemistry. Amphipods and crustaceans gather to feed on mineral-rich plumes. Snailfish hover, invisible to all but the submersible's lights. Giant xenophyophores cover the volcanic sediment like living mosaics, stretching for meters across the ocean floor. The explorers who visited these regions speak of landscapes beyond imagination. James Cameron described ghostly hills of sediment, plumes rising like smoke in slow motion, and fields of creatures adapting to a world of extremes. Victor Vescovo added discoveries of new species, small yet resilient, thriving in pressures and temperatures that would destroy surface life. Time here is unmeasurable. The vents hiss slowly, releasing clouds of chemicals that fuel life. Each bubble rises like a heartbeat, and the surrounding darkness amplifies the stillness, transforming the ocean into a cathedral of silence. Life is delicate yet unstoppable. Every glow, every subtle motion, is a message in the eternal night, a communication we are only beginning to understand. Chapter 9: The Silence of Challenger Deep. We have reached the Challenger Deep, the very heart of the Mariana Trench. Here the pressure is unimaginable, and silence reigns eternal. Jacques Picard and Don Walsh first dared this depth in 1960. The Trieste creaked under pressure, every metal joint bending under forces that would crush any ordinary vessel. Yet they descended into history, their voices recorded only in faint radio echoes, their courage resonating across the decades. James Cameron later explored the depths alone, recording images of a landscape almost alien. Plains of sediment, punctuated by ghostly creatures. Fields of xenophyophores stretching farther than the eye can see. The deep is not lifeless. Amphipods swarm delicately, their translucent bodies reflecting the faint light. Snailfish hover silently, their bodies almost invisible in the crushing darkness. Holothurians crawl slowly, maintaining the hidden ecosystem. Here, silence is more than absence. It is a language, a rhythm, a pulse of the planet itself. Every subtle motion, every flicker of light, tells a story older than humanity, a story of endurance, adaptation, and quiet majesty. Chapter 10: Eternal Darkness and Hidden Ecosystems. Beyond the Challenger Deep lies an endless expanse of darkness, where ecosystems thrive in isolation. Life is sparse yet intricate. Every creature has evolved to survive the impossible, to move, feed, and reproduce under crushing pressure, freezing cold, and eternal night. Amphipods drift like microscopic phantoms. Snailfish hover like invisible specters, and xenophyophores stretch across the sediment like monumental living carpets. Hydrothermal vents, occasional volcanoes and chemical-rich pools create tiny pockets of warmth and energy, sustaining hidden communities that would be unimaginable on the surface. Victor Vescovo's recent expeditions revealed entire landscapes of life previously unknown. New species of snailfish, unseen crustaceans, and gelatinous hunters drifting in slow, deliberate motion. Time and pressure merge here. Days and nights have no meaning. Light does not exist. Yet life continues, delicate and perfect. Every flicker of bioluminescence is a heartbeat, every subtle motion a testament to resilience, and every grain of sediment carries the weight of millennia. Chapter 11, Deep Sleep, Fading into the Void. As we begin to ascend, the trench leaves its mark on the mind. Time feels suspended. The silence has become tangible, as though the ocean itself breathed alongside us. Life continues beneath, oblivious to the surface, thriving, adapting, enduring. The abyss reminds us of the vastness of our planet and the fragility of our existence. Here at the bottom of the world, we encounter patience older than humans, resilience beyond comprehension, and beauty untouched by time. Even now in the silence, we feel the pulse of the earth, slow, steady, eternal. And as we fade into the void, our minds drift, carried by the water, gently into the eternal deep. Chapter 12, Final Descent, Into the Unknown. Narrator: deep, slow, meditative. As we prepare for the final descent, the familiar fades entirely. The ocean above seems distant, a memory of light and warmth. Every meter downward stretches perception. The pressure grows, a silent force pressing upon all matter, a reminder that this world obeys no human law. Here life seems fragile yet determined. Amphipods drift lazily in the water, their translucent bodies catching faint reflections from our submersible. Snailfish hover like ghosts, their forms almost invisible against the eternal darkness. Hydrothermal vents emerge sporadically, plumes of warm, mineral-rich water rising slowly. Life thrives around them, crustaceans, gelatinous hunters, small bioluminescent creatures that dance in the void. Victor Vescovo's records describe a landscape almost alien. Undulating plains of sediment, punctuated by spectral creatures. Fields of xenophyophores extending endlessly, a realm untouched by sunlight or human interference. Time and space feel irrelevant here. Every subtle movement, every faint glimmer of light, becomes an event of monumental significance. The ocean whispers its ancient story, and we, the intruders, listen in reverent silence. Chapter 13, Hidden Ecosystems, Life in the Abyss, Beyond the Known. Entire ecosystems exist unseen, isolated, functioning in perfect harmony under extreme conditions. Giant xenophyophores dominate the seafloor, stretching for meters, creating carpets of life. Amphipods swarm delicately, grazing on particles that drift from above. Snailfish hover silently, hunting, feeding, and blending into the eternal darkness. Hydrothermal vents create islands of warmth and nutrients, supporting life forms unimaginable in other environments. Crustaceans gather, gelatinous predators drift with deliberate motion. Each organism a study in adaptation and resilience. Even in this desolation, life pulses with quiet intensity. Each flicker of bioluminescence is a heartbeat, each movement a testament to survival. Humans observe, awed, recognizing the delicate balance maintained in this eternal darkness. Explorers describe feelings of both fear and reverence, an understanding that they are temporary guests in a world that has endured far longer than we can imagine. Chapter 14, Abyssal Reflections, Time and Silence. In the abyss, silence is more than absence of sound. It is presence, It is the heartbeat of the planet itself. It is the memory of forces older than humanity. Amphipods drift like tiny stars. Snailfish float like spirits. And gelatinous hunters navigate the black, moving with a grace that transcends human comprehension. The sediment beneath tells a story. Millions of years of accumulation. Evidence of tectonic forces, volcanic eruptions, and the slow, steady passage of time. Each particle carries history. Each subtle ripple in the water is an echo of the planet's ancient rhythm. And we, the observers, are reminded of our impermanence, our brief existence measured against the vast patience of the Earth. Victor Vescovo and James Cameron describe moments when the weight of the ocean felt almost conscious, as though the trench itself acknowledged their presence, yet remained indifferent. Chapter 15, Deep Sleep, Fading into the Void. As our journey concludes, we begin the ascent, leaving behind the deepest secrets of the ocean. The trench has spoken in silence, revealing life that thrives without sunlight, warmth, or mercy. Ghostly creatures, slow and deliberate, continue their eternal dance, unaware of our passing. And in this ascent, we carry with us the reflection of eternity, a meditation on resilience, patience, and the profound beauty of life in extremes. The abyss leaves its mark. Time slows, the mind drifts, and we fade gently into the quiet void. The deep has whispered its final lullaby, and the world above feels distant, as if the entire planet holds its breath. Chapter 21, Ghosts Beneath the Depths. Narrator, slow, deep, meditative. In the darkest corners of the trench, where sunlight never reaches, some explorers whisper of shadows moving without origin. Ghosts of the deep, perhaps echoes of creatures long extinct, or the memory of life that once thrived on this planet, linger in the abyss. Witnesses report fleeting shapes, translucent beings that drift silently, appearing only in the periphery of vision. Some scientists speculate they are unknown life forms, evolved in isolation over millions of years. Others whisper theories of echoes from the past, residual energies left in the water, imprints of creatures that existed in prehistoric oceans. And sometimes, for a moment, the submersible seems alive, as if the trench itself is observing us, its ghosts moving through currents, unseen yet profoundly present. Chapter 22, Visitors from the Stars. Some theorists suggest that deep oceans may hold traces of extraterrestrial influence. Microscopic structures, inexplicable geometries, and unusual chemical compositions found in sediments have led some to wonder if life here carries hints of something beyond Earth. Could ancient comets or meteorites have seeded life in these depths? Could creatures here possess adaptations unknown to our science? Perhaps hints of biology from worlds far away? The abyss holds secrets not just of Earth, but of the universe itself. Every flicker of bioluminescence feels like a message from the unknown. Chapter 23, Prehistoric Giants. Millions of years ago, oceans teemed with giants. Predators larger than ships, herbivores with sprawling bodies, and creatures with forms unlike anything seen today. Some researchers believe that remnants of these prehistoric beings may still dwell in the abyss, adapted to extreme pressure, invisible to the human eye. The trench, isolated and extreme, could act as a refuge, preserving lineages lost elsewhere. Amphipods may carry genetic memory from species long extinct. Xenophyophores may have evolved slowly over eons, retaining traits from ancient giants. The mind struggles to imagine a creature the size of a submarine, gliding silently in eternal night, its body perfectly adapted to survive what would annihilate any surface life. Chapter 24, The Unknown Life Forms. Scientists continue to discover life in places previously thought uninhabitable. Creatures with shapes alien to human imagination. Bioluminescent forms that communicate in pulses of light. And gelatinous hunters that drift with ghostly grace. Could some of these organisms be truly ancient, carrying traits from prehistoric oceans? Or are they new species, evolved entirely in isolation, hidden from the surface for millions of years? Explorers report shapes that seem impossible. Long, ribbon-like forms gliding in currents, appendages that shimmer and disappear, and patterns of movement that feel almost intelligent. In the silence of the abyss, every motion becomes monumental, every flicker of light a silent signal, from a world humanity barely comprehends. Chapter 25, Echoes of the Unknown. As we drift through the deepest parts of the trench, we begin to sense the echoes of unknown life. Could there be intelligence here, adapted to darkness, pressure, and eternal night? Do these creatures observe silently, their existence untouched by humanity? Ancient life forms, extraterrestrial hints, ghostly shadows, all converge in a symphony of the unknown. The trench whispers secrets, but they are not for us to fully grasp. We are visitors in a realm older than memory, where the line between reality and imagination blurs. As our journey ends, the abyss leaves a lasting impression, a reminder of the vastness of life, the resilience of the unknown, and the eternal mystery that lies beneath.